Welcome to the Grassroots Rugby Show, brought to you by Clutch TV. I'm Louise Ransom. Great to have your company, joined by Will Davies as always. Will, we're down a man tonight.
Yeah, we are, and of all nights too. We've got the 4 and 20 pies, the bricks rum, the Fever Tree mixer, and no Sean Maloney. More the merrier when we're in here, and not including Sean. Bring it on.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Sean is going to join us, but from afar. Hello, Sean Maloney. Talk me through this. What are you doing?
I'm in isolation. My little one's getting tested at the moment, so I thought the right thing to do would not to be coming in there and potentially spreading the COVID around. But I will say this, if you touch my pie, Davies, I will end you.
Mate, I saw the size of those hands just then. I'm staying clear of the spare.
Okay, there's plenty coming up on the show as always. I want to get to the weather on the weekend, Will. This is crazy rugby conditions.
Absolutely wild. Sean, have you ever played in the snow?
No, I haven't, but I know that the Orange Emus can do it and do it well. This is thanks to Andrew Logan out there in the Central West. 2 good in the end for Forbes, 8 zip. And, Will, this is a big game for Nigel Staniforth as well, MVP in a landmark return.
Yeah, absolutely amazing stuff, and a bit of a family milestone as well for them too. Playing in the snow, getting everyone together over the weekend. The platter pie, the emus, it doesn't get much better than that in terms of a yarn in 30 years. It'd be about 4 feet of snow then.
At least. And the other big fella you saw lurking around there is a Tongan prop Ignace who was dreaming, I'm told, of the South Seas and thinking, what have I done bringing myself to Orange where it is below 0, guys?
Yeah, exactly right. Oh, well, let's get into some of the action from the weekend. The top tries, the top meat pies, brought to you, of course, by 4 and 20. Will, kick us off.
Yeah, we like this, the 4 and 20 top meat pies. Harry Cudmore in 2nd grade for North. A bit of the no-jump line out, and here he is splitting the seas. That's 17 Eastern Suburbs players he's run past. Need a head count. Doesn't matter though. Big try for Northern Suburbs.
This one is an absolute screamer. Will and Lou from Colts. We're talking about Zane Missios. Get the pass counter going. Ding, another, ding, another, ding, another, ding, another. It's winning out of Cherrington with a number of handles in the run-up to the eventual drive. The big Zano, ding, another, Will. And then back on the inside is lurking Zano. Great try, Randwick.
Mate, they're flying, aren't they, in the Colts? Have a look at this, Eastern Suburbs ladies. Familiar tale. Watch out for Tams and Barber. East's up 12-0. She has just about the best turn of foot and some of the better awareness of anybody playing rugby in New South Wales right now. Inside for Courtney Frankel. If you're playing with East, stay near Tams and Barber. Frankel with another try.
Hey, speaking of staying near number 15s, what about just hanging around Maurice Longbottom? Look at this, taking us back to the under 7s, now the under 6s, now the under 5s, where you run one side to the other. Here he is linking up with Tristan Riley. What a try, thanks to the Moz Band.
Absolutely outrageous, isn't it? Another top meat pie this week. Have a look at Connor McNichol. High ball, takes the mark. He knows what's going on. Have a look at this. Gets it going. He's got Isekele Langakoro lurking. Tells him where to go. Points to the wing. Puts it on the toe. The pace of the big man. The long strides. It makes the hammies tight enough just looking at it. Another top meat pie.
Yeah, love it. The top meat pie is brought to you by 4 and 20. So that's all the good stuff from the weekend. Now, the clangers, the clanger of the week. Will, what do we got?
We've got another double bunger this week. We had the bookends last week at Southern Districts up against Randwick. Randwick well in front. Have a look at this, the long looping ball. Oh no, you've just dropped the World Cup. All he needed to do was scoop it up. Nathan Lawson, not what you want, Shawnee, but it keeps getting better.
Mate, that's a tough one. Come on, you're getting a bit rough. You're getting a bit too tough on these guys, a bit judgmental. Actually, while we're here, Daniel Bell, he's got Liam Mosley in the pocket going, here, have a try out wide. This is first grade. Sniper shot. Sniper shot out wide. Daniel Bell has it right there for the taking. Sniper shot.
How bad is it in some? He's forgotten how to use the legs. The legs have seized up. I like the swipe of the grass too, the admission. That's not ideal. Gee, Southern Districts have done us some favours. Max Freeman's getting in everybody's ear saying, I need some help, spread out the love.
Certainly is. Let's turn our attention to Shute Shield now, and the big result from the weekend, West Harbour against Manly. West Harbour needed a win and they got it here.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Hatana Coffin, Harley Atwater, Jed Ibbotson and Yule damaging out on the wing himself gets the job done. A nice try, Shawnee, and it's early too. very early, 90 seconds played, but Western Suburbs, Pellegrino.
Yeah, Western Suburbs, fellas and lady, they're a team that were pushing last week against the Rats, and here they are getting it done against the Marlins, essentially putting an end to their season, Will Davies.
Yeah, West Harbour Pirates at home. Pretty nice stuff, and look, I tell you what, Manly aren't done though. They're down 5 points to 12. Atwater again, cutting back inside. Nice little offload. Hatana Coffin with the mane of hair. He looks like a lion in the savannah. Good try from them, and they keep on coming here. 12-15, they still trail in the 60th minute. Hatana Coffin again, settling in beautifully. That is a head of hair, Sean Maloney.
Yeah, no, he's got a couple of nice tries this year, has Big Hoots Coffin, but it was just West through Southboy who set up that lead, and then it was Manly kind of bombing the final execution, which would have certainly put them in the frame to get the cash away at Drummoyne, Will.
Yeah, good support work. I tell you what, the barber down at Manly is going really nice. Have a look at Liam Ryan as well, the peroxide hair, and really good win for West Harbour, and keeps them going nicely at the moment. Interesting stages of the Shoot Shield. Manly just rumbling it up here, Shawnee. You thought maybe they're going to get the chance. Max Douglas at the back, not too happy. The ball's knocked on. They had a line out in a good position. Have a look at a big Etienne Oosthuizen for West Harbour Pirates, the big blonde-haired fella in the second row, making sure nothing untoward happens, and 22 points to 19, the win for West Harbour.
Yeah, that's their first win for the season. Let's continue with Shoot Shield, and Easts took on Norths, and East needed this win to keep their season alive as they push for finals contention. 24-14, the final scoreline here, Will.
Yeah, good try from Nathan Russell. He's having a big season for Northern Suburbs in year number 2. Max Bury's been good at the back, and a famous name with Northern Suburbs. And Christoph Heinrich Brendel with the try. North's up 12-7, Shawnee.
Yeah, I thought Brendel might have done enough, but East just hung right on in there at the weekend. You know what, Will? I was sniffing upset in this one at Bon Andrews. I thought they're going to get clipped eventually in North, and it was East basically playing for the season, and thanks to Henry Patterson setting up a chance to get the cash on that side of the bridge.
Okay, well, that is the result in that one. Let's look at all the results in Shoot Shield from the weekend and take you through those. West Harbour and Manly, that was the first result there, 22 points to 19. Easts and Norths and Southern Districts, just 5 points they scored against Randwick, 34. Randwick looking very nice at the moment. Eastwood and Sydney Uni, cracking match, 36 points to 26. Uni got away with that one. Penrith, 17 points, but the Rats too good with 49. Big score from them. And the Hunter Wildfires and Gordon, the battle of the Coleman brothers in the coach's box. Darren and Bubba, was great to be up there in Newcastle on the weekend. Wildfires sort of hung in, and then Gordon ran away with it in the second half there. That is the results. Now, guys, we're going to do a new segment this week. We're going to do some shout-outs. Will Davies, what do you got?
Well, this is really nice stuff, isn't it, Shawnee? The Wildfires and Gordon, the two Coleman brothers, there was a lot of byplay going on. This is them after the match. Gordon getting the win against the Hunter Wildfires, but a bit of brotherly love in the extended family.
Yeah, it was nice in the aftermath. In the lead up to it, there was a lot of Facebook hacking going on. This is about 3 a.m. Saturday morning ahead of the game, where Bubba managed to get into DC's account.
Real vision too.
Some of the gifts that were exchanged in big weeks. So this is Bubba tossing DC into the H2O. So this is what it's going to be like on the weekend. But off the back of Mitchell and Tucky, who was excellent for Gordon at the weekend. Maguire it was DC in the end who got to do the spanking.
Yeah, very nicely done. We'll talk more about Randwick in a little bit of time. We just want to make mention of the Sir Roden Cutler Shield. A big win from Randwick over Southern Districts, 34 points to 5. So at Southern Districts, at Foreshore, they leave with the Sir Roden Cutler Shield after Souths won it against Uni.
Geez, we've spent some time at Foreshore already in this episode, team. This is big Nathan De Hoot just catching his head on the power lines there at Foreshore Park. Look at the big guy go. It had me thinking, I haven't seen that since I've seen a giraffe on the savannah. Big Nate dog charging up the park, catching the head on the lines. Beat
Oh,
the
we like
Lions.
this, and I tell you, mate, we are getting David Attenborough-esque here on the Grassroots Rugby Show. This is a crow just anywhere in Australia on the weekend, but nothing to do with the Shoot Shield, but it was windy at foreshore. This is tough stuff. Look, trying to kick it out, the Kyle Brown going for touch, couldn't get it done, game over, and there you go, Randwick with the big win.
Tough day for the Kickers, tough day for the Emus as well. Look at the win for the Hookers. That Arctic blast really made things interesting at the weekend, Will.
Yeah, very interesting. We've seen some great line-out throws and some ingenuity through the Colts, but when it is as windy as it is, hard stuff. Look, the Emus scored 2 tries, taking their season tally to 4. This one, an absolute pearler, finished by Riley Alcorn, but number 12, Luke Nanduratalo. Great run from him, good strength, really nice balance too. Got the head tape outside with the support, and here comes Alcorn. So the Emus starting to get a little bit of form, Shawnee.
What I'm loving about that try is it was scored like 78 minutes in. And now we take a look at one of our favourites, Marsbar Jr., Ben Maher. You slated him last week, Will. You were right into him off the back of a bomb try.
He's filming from the Marriott this week. Listen to him.
Anyway,
Look, nice stuff.
Marsbar Jr. gets it done.
Yeah, nice stuff. And nice stuff too from Sydney Uni. Henry Clooney's Ross, one of the good guys of New South Wales sport. Uni getting the win, but great to see Fabian Goodall back and doing what he does best, bagging a couple of meat pies, an imposing force in the Eastwood backline, and a couple of tries for him. Uni with the win.
This is Death Valley, Lou, getting a redo. Oh my God, the amount of times I've been blasted at that park over the years. We are finally turning the turf, as they say, and you know who will get really excited around seeing that caterpillar go to work and dig up that turf in that part of the world? Tatafu Pilota now. He'll be at home feeling all fuzzy.
Staff coming on the show soon. We've got to call him out for this, don't we?
Focused on what he's doing.
Yeah, that's it. One
Very
week at a
focused.
time.
Got to get it done.
That's it. Whatever's working for you, Taff. Okay, let's look at what the top 6 looks like in the Shoot Shield as we get through this season. Randwick on top. They're looking very good at the moment. Sydney Uni with that great win on the weekend over Eastwood. Gordon, Southern Districts, Eastwood and Norths round out the top 6. The bottom 7, the Rats, Easts, who we mentioned, won on the weekend just to sort of save their finals hopes. They've got a bit of work to do still. Manly, West Harbour, the Hunter Wildfires, the 2 Blues and Penrith finish it all off there in the Shoot Shield.
Easts with a big win, needed that one too to keep in touch, and Northern Suburbs, after what we spoke about, a pretty soft draw, Shawnee. They've got a few questions over the next little while, but top 6, I don't think a huge amount of change, certainly in potentially the top 5.
What about that? The North's coach Ilvar comes back and loses after spending a couple of weeks in isolation and coming back from overseas. So Zachy Beer will be saying, actually, maybe, you know what, Earl, I've got it from here.
So talk to me about Maurice Longbottom, Sean. We saw what an amazing sort of job he's doing, but he's still just getting used to this 15-man game again.
How fitting that he's wearing the 15 jersey as well, Lou. So good. And brings back shades for me of a guy named Brendan Williams who used to play with the Waratahs way back when, sort of late 90s, early 2000s. Tiny in terms of the other frames on the field, but can just break ankles left and right. He's so good. I've seen him do this against the Giants on the World Series, against the big boppers out of South Africa as well. So when you throw him into this space at Shoot Shield level, he is going to shred teams, and it's exactly what he's doing. And you know what? He's the sort of guy that kids can get behind and go, he is who I want to play like. He moves how I want to play like. He can be a real cult hero, I think, out of the Shoot Shield North Longbottom. He is awesome.
I like that a lot. Look, we had Morgan Turanui on the show earlier on in the Grassroots Rugby Show's life, and he said they see him as a 9. It's uncharted territory. They weren't exactly sure. Do you like him at 9, having seen what you've seen? 15, he gets the start. Obviously, a bit of an injury for Miller, so got the opportunity and took it with both hands. Where do you see him fitting with what you've picked up off the 7 circuit?
Anywhere, basically outside of probably 12. I would suggest anywhere. At 12, he'd cop a lot of traffic. You could probably shift things around and have someone defend for him at 10. He still makes his tackles. I'm not getting away from that, but anywhere through that back line, the guy is straight T and T.
Yeah, that's right, and no surprise to see him doing well and Randwick now hitting their straps as well. I dare say there's a bit of a connection there, Will Davies. Coming up in round 7 in Shoot Shield, let's check out those fixtures. Randwick, that team we were just talking about, they take on Eastwood. That should be a cracker. The Rats and Southern Districts. Then West Harbour taking on Gordon. West Harbour coming off that first win of the season. They'll have a bit more confidence now. Norths and 2 Blues, Penrith and Manly, and then also the Hunter Wildfires taking on East. So those are the games coming up. A big game, we said, with Rats and Southern Districts. Rats sit in 7th, only 5 points behind Souths in 4th. A win here could move them within a point, Will.
Yeah, and it's about the right time for them to keep on or really mount a charge. Randwick been going really nicely. This is Warringah and Ezra Cheekham getting involved. They had some extraordinary long-range tries, Warringah against Penrith, and I mean, potentially a little bit can be made about the opposition, Shawnee, but the way that they're starting to connect, they've got some really good young outside backs, Ben Maher, Ben Woollett, you've got Josh Holmes just doing what he does, and a good young forward pack as well. So life at Warringah is looking pretty good, and now's the time for them to put their hand up and make sure that they're trying to claim that top 6 spot.
One of the other things that will really buoy them this weekend is getting that result away from home at Penrith. One of the toughest road trips in the Shoot Shield, and you're just banking on the fact that you can get it done there. Speaking of get it done, Mungo Mason, how good. You can get that collect away from home and then return back to Rat Park and really ask questions of these guys who were in many ways kind of snuffed out by Randwick, Will.
Yeah, Southern Districts I really like. The win against Sydney Uni was a big one. I mean, we spoke about it last week too, the way that they got it done, picked up the Sorodan Cutlass Shield. They've handed it back, but Randwick, as you mentioned, Lou Ranson, one of the danger sides of the competition. But you see Southern Districts, I reckon, in that top 6, and they'll just keep cracking away. And to get the win at Foreshore for Randwick, big stuff for sure. Setting it up nicely though. It's an interesting stage in the Shoot Shield, very interesting stage in subbies as well.
It is. Segue you provided for me, Will Davies. We're going to mix things up this week. We'll talk about Colts in just a moment, but up next we will talk subbies. It's time for the subbies session, brought to you by 4 and 20. We're going to kick things off with Waverley taking on Colleagues, Will Davies.
The old beauty, this one, Waverley and Colleagues. Got to start with a bit of Rob Keogh action to the big white fridge, gets it down. I tell you what, this guy needs a sponsor of his own, the way that subbies are going out at Waverley. Keogh's ball, delicious. The big white fridge, maybe a Westinghouse sponsor, Big Lee can get involved. The way Rob Keogh's going though, he's back at the club. It's a shortened subby season, we know. Waverley building really nicely. This was a big one for them to understand where they are. The celebration too, it was a cold old day. Rob Keogh just keeping nice and toasty. He's got a bit of Wilson action from Castaway. Make sure he's nice and friendly with the Gilbert. And look, subbies action for Waverley going really, really nicely. Scott Sarsons has them doing great things. And look, Josh Stevens and Tom Jackson deserve a shout out too. Rob Keogh providing highlights like this the whole day along. But the commentary on the Clutch TV feed, outstanding stuff. Very one-sided, unapologetically. And all 4 games of the Kent World Cup streamed live via clutch.tv and the Clutch app. Get involved.
Love it.
What about this guy, Hamish Sheehan, guys? He was the Colts' best and fairest last year at Colleagues, one of the up-and-coming Blue Giants to keep an eye on. Had an awesome day out in the 15 for Colleagues. Not enough in the end to get it done, but have a look at that. The show and go, the strong carry. Out the other side, he comes, Will.
Yeah, very nice stuff from Colleagues. Also got to mention the 3rd grade for Colleagues, Richard Saville, or Saville. Look, captain them to another win. They're premiership favourites in 3rd grade. He'll play his 100th game for Colleagues if they make the semi-finals and go on. So I'm pitching a little bit of the test-style documentary via Amazon, but for Clutch TV. Get that sponsored as well. He's a software developer, a bit of a coder, so maybe get Atlassian involved. Let's just keep it going. Got the Fever Tree tonic going down an absolute beautiful. The mixer, the ginger beer and the Bricks rum.
Have you been
4 and 20.
Have you been sliding?
Prawn candy.
Right, okay, 39-22, the final score there in Waverley and Colleagues. Mossman taking on Knox. Mossman 33-12. Knox having a tough season here, Will.
Yeah, Mossman, one of the competition favourites. They really are going beautifully. really tough conditions. We've touched on it a few times, and when you've got your prop covering at fullback, I feel like our mate Woodcock must have been injured and he's tried to do the Morrison origin. He is all at sea and Mossman taking full advantage. Off to the sideline again. I think the trainers are still having a look at our mate Woodcock from Knox Old Boys. When you're underneath the box kick, it's tough stuff. A big win for Mossman, 33-12 over Knox, and they, with Drummoyne, are understandably competition favourites.
Yeah, they are. Petersham and Blue Mountains. Blue Mountains led 17-15 after 40 minutes. Sean Maloney, Petersham stormed home in this one.
Didn't they what? It was a big finish. It was Helu getting through the winger. Evans rampaging as always as well for Petersham boys, and also Vasa Vala with the try to take it up over 50 to Petersham. Very, very good at the weekend against the boys from the mountain.
Yeah, we've seen some good highlights, haven't we, from the Blue Mountains, and this is an outstanding run. Again, those strides, the hamstrings are tight. 85th minute, we've seen a lot of these games really have some great injury time highlights, and that is no exception.
Yeah, so 53 points to 22, the final score there. Let's move on to Forest and Drummoyne. 28-5 at half-time, 54-15 at full-time. Will, Drummoyne never looked threatened in this one at all?
No, they did a bit of an off-the-ball tackle. Rare highlights for Forest. They're continuing on. Again, some great directions being issued, and a very nice try. Henry Goodman and Willie Villy with the bump. Jordan Rowland down the touchline. So good stuff for Forest, but realistically, all Drummoyne.
What about that name, Willie Villy? Willie Villy. I think that might be one of the great names across shoot and subbies. But Rusiate Longani Masti, we've seen him scoring tries for fun all season long, with another couple at the weekend. He leads with 6 overall in the competition. This is a huge run to bring up the 50 from Christian Benetti. TRY at Melwood to be Christian.
Mate, it's like Ogre from a Revenge of the Nerds charging down the touchline. That's a reference I didn't think we'd ever use again.
No, we've used it though.
How about that?
54 points to 15. I'll check out the ladder and see what that looks like in the Kentwell Cup. Drummoyne up top on 25 points. Mossman just that single point behind on 24. Waverley a little bit back in on 15 points. Petersham colleagues, Blue Mountains, Forest and Knox finishing things up there on the Kentwell Cup ladder. A wet weather round this weekend and only 2 rounds left, Will. And on Friday night, we've got some great subbies action coming up on Clutch.
Absolutely right. It's really getting interesting across the wider competition. But some old boys on Friday night. We've got the Toby Crisp Cup, Balmain versus Mossman, in memory of Toby Crisp. It'll be live on Clutch TV. Friday night, get the Clutch app and get involved. Really nice stuff. And obviously the family of Toby Crisp will be getting involved, and good stuff from the old boys.
Yeah, certainly is. Let's move on now to some Colts chat. Let's get Colts started with Easts and Norths. Sean, East got the win over Norths. It was 45 points to 14. They've lost a game, but they're still looking like contenders, Easts.
Yeah, they are. Their backs are really firing at the moment, thanks largely to Maxi D'Agostino, their fly half, who's sitting in behind a very strong forward pack as well. Maxi D'Agostino has just been going gangbusters. There he's in the headgear. See! Coming! What about the rainbow on that one, Will Davies? I know you've been loving that. Charlie Baker will be the man who scores the final try, but you're loving this.
Yeah, absolutely right. Look, they've a strong East's Colts lineup, obviously, and really nice culture down there too under John Murray. One of the powerhouses, no doubt. This man, though, having quite the season, our friend of the show, without really knowing necessarily he's a friend of the show, Liam Delibashek. Another try from him. Can't hold him back. Can't put a hand on him either. He leads the Colts competition. 10 tries now. He is absolutely on fire.
Yeah, he's quick, isn't he? East's 45-14, that final score there. What did you just pop, Will?
Look, I was caught. I was getting stuck into the bricks. Perfect mixer for the Fever Tree ginger ale. Carry on, Shawnee. We've got a bit of Randwick and Southern Districts.
Do you know what? The perfect accompaniment to watch these highlights from Wynyard Sherrington. This bloke's come across from WA. Producer Trav has spoken to Morgan Trunui Club director and said, what's he about? He said he came across from Western Australia chasing some sevens action. Look at him. Lot like Maurice Longbottom, beating guys first up, and he's got that acceleration as well to get in behind. Look at the grubber ahead, the regather. He is firing, and we saw him have a hand in his back row partners, or this try, which we saw in the running for the try of the week earlier in the show, guys. Look at that, just holding it up, checking runners left and right, getting it around the corner. So this is Wynyard Sherrington, a real find all the way from WA and killing it for the Colts at Randwick.
Yeah, outstanding stuff, isn't it? Cheslin Colby-esque, obviously the headgear, but the stature too. Some of the highlights we've seen from him. Another player well worth down.
Yeah, so 76 points to nil, that scoreline there, huge against Southern Districts. Let's move on to Penrith taking on the Rats. Big win for the Rats. Their second win of the season, and they're backed up well from last week, Will.
Yeah, Cooper Wood going very, very nicely at fullback. Another hat-trick for him, 77 points to 15, the win against the Penrith Emus. Cooper Wood, great support run. He's having an absolute field day yet again. So 3 tries for him. Matthew Miafua, though, he'll feature very soon. Pace from Cooper Wood. We've seen some good high stepping, nice long striding young player as well. Matthew Miafua, you may never have seen a player enjoy a try as much as this young man. I wonder about the relation to Manny Miafua down at Warringah, a famous story where he's just down watching training on a park bench, ends up as the super sub in the shoot shield. This is what you want to see, the enjoyment from scoring the try, a smile as wide as the face, and well done to Matthew Miafua and the Warringah Colts. I mean, there's something going on there that we don't know about, I reckon, given how much he's enjoying that try.
Yeah, please write in and tell us what that is.
I've got some more feel-good coming. I've got some more feel-good coming. Sorry, Luke. Check out Miracle Sewer here. It was tough going last week against Randwick. Tough going against Warringah as well. But Penrith and big Miracle Sewer with a try. Look at him. He's all smiles. Their props were the ones getting it done. Also the try at the weekend going into Q Aumua Tofete. Just great to see the Emus, big men, jamming a few in on the weekend, and good to see him on the board, you guys.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Huge scoreline there, though. The Rats, 77 points, Penrith 15. West Harbour and Manly. Manly got the job done. Manly were up at 8-5 at half-time, and they just really dominated the second half, Sean Maloney.
Manly's first grade Colts doing what their first grade can't do at the moment. That is getting a W on the board. Try there to Nick Ben, Lungy Gleeson, good as well. There's another guy I want to highlight who'll be coming up in just a moment in the 7 for Manly. You guys know when you're old, when you're talking about the sons of the guys that you played alongside. Zach Barnabas came through the school system. He's an absolute powerhouse. World champion sailor as well, son of a world champion sailor, and there is Jack Forbes going in as well. So Manly, decent winners in the end against a very dangerous West outfit.
Okay, let's take a look at what the Colts ladder is doing, and it is Randwick on top on 30 points. Sydney Uni equal points on 30 as well. Gordon 23 points, East 21, North's just at 1 point behind on 20. Manly rounding out the top 6, they are on 17 points. Looking at the bottom half, Southern Districts, Eastwood both on 15 points. The Rats on 11, 2 Blues, Penrith, West Harbour and the Hunter Wildfires rounding things out. So that is what Colts looks like. Let's also now move on and get a quick top up from the twos. So in this twos top up, we are going to start with the Manly prop. Manly West Harbour over 27 points to 3. An unlikely hat-trick hero, Sean.
Ivan the Terrific, they call him. Big Ivan Fupulia. Just saying to Manly first grade coach Matty McGoldrick, listen, if you want someone to score a whole bunch of tries, I'm your go-to. 3 tries for a prop. We do not see that very often, do we, Will?
We need to see more of it, I reckon, certainly on the Grassroots Rugby show. Really nice stuff and well taken through.
Yeah, it was. So 27 points to 3 Manly over West Harbour. Randwick took care of Southern Districts, 59 points to 24. Will, one of your favourites in some good form.
Absolutely right. We've spoken about Christian Yasmin a few times on the show, one of the smoothest athletes in New South Wales club sport and still getting it done for Randwick. He's played plenty of shoot shield over the years. And this Randwick side, given the nature of what they've got from a 7 circuit, in second grade they are going beautifully. Look, he's got a very proud family history of being a dentist. He's training to be a dentist himself, an orthodontist. And look, we can show this dentist's face and thank heavens we can because he's going beautifully. You
talked about it being one of the smoothest men you've seen. Is that one of the smoothest rums you've ever had?
Look, it's very good. It's very good. I like that.
Yeah, Sean Maloney wishes he had his bits on one of those as well. I can tell. Norths led 20 points to 7 at half-time. Easts come back with 4 tries in 17 minutes to get this 29-20 lead. Sean, talk me through these comeback try scorers.
Well, I just want to actually centre on the 15 there for East. Will Mad Dog Maddox, who's a brother of JAGK Maddox that we've been watching do his thing for the Waratahs. Donnie Freeman going in, Archie Gavin as well going nicely. So this is one of those classic ones where you're down by a bunch at half time and you say, we've got them right where we want them, team. We've got them right where we want them. So East rumbled home against North to get that collect at home.
Yeah, did very well indeed. The Penrith Emus, they were right in it against the Rats, Will.
Yeah, they were. Look, Ocean Clarkin pulled off 2 great finishes for Warringah. Step inside, didn't worry about the slight hair pull. Almost a wrestling move, ducking under that one. Really nice from him. So, look, the Rats, he's got a double for them, so pretty happy with that. 20 points to 14 the score. Clarkin out on the wing. The mullet is back, and I think that's a good thing. I'm not sold yet. I think it's a good thing. Strange final try to the Emus. Number 9, Joe Fawangale, and number 14, Mosese Adawai. But a try nonetheless for the Emus, taking plenty of time. And then the offload. Getting everybody involved, we like that a lot, and plenty going on.
Yeah, there was plenty going on in the women's action as well. The Jack Scott Cup, let's move along. Easts taking on Campbelltown. Will, there were doubles to a couple of players in this one.
Yeah, familiar territory here as we follow the play. We've got Tamsin Barber and Courtney Frankel. East's got the win, 40 points to 5. And look out at Wallara again, Tamsin Barber. Always prominent. She is having quite the season and great to watch under lights at Wallara. Always a big day. Courtney Frankel too. We've spoken about her ability out on the wing to just read the play. Great line from her and just carves through and Eastern Suburbs with a good win in the Jack Scott Cup.
Sean Maloney, the 2019 grand final rematch during the week. Sydney Uni grounded out 14 points to 7. Could be a pretty similar final this year.
Well, nice to see someone found enough cash to pay the electricity bill through the week so that we get a fully completed game on the board between these two powerhouses of the Jack Scott Cup. We were predicting it to be a tight one, and it was just that in the end. 14 points to 7, full-time Uni leading every step of the way. However, hey, guys, what about how good Tamsin Barber from East is? I'm saying if she gets in behind and grubbers, don't bother chasing in defence. She'll score 10 times out of 10. Freak.
Yeah, looking very, very good in season 2020. Guys, we're done.
There we go.
For another week of the Grassroots Rugby Show. Geez, we're going along nicely.
Yeah, enjoying all of the clips we're being sent, all of the feedback as well. Again, if we're missing a name, let us know. Some of the information's not the most reliable. And shout out as well before we go, our Welsh mate Tom Gray. Turns out he's not Welsh. He's gotten rid of it. Says he's English with a Welsh mother. So we're off you, Tom. Carwyn Francis is now our number 1 from Waverley. We're all about Cakes Francis. Go the Cakes.
Very good. Sean Maloney, give us your final thoughts for this week.
My final thoughts are these. Great to have 4 and 20 on board. I'll happily eat those 2 pies unrefrigerated. If you leave them there, this time next week, I'll be back in there to tidy up and leave me some of that rum as well. Thanks, Will.
Yeah, no, we're taking all of it with us. Sorry, Sean. Sean Maloney, thanks so much for your company, albeit from afar. Good luck with all the COVID testing and everything at the moment. Shout out to Yazzie, your little daughter as well. I hope she's ends up going fine. Will Davies, thanks so much for your company.
Thank you.
Pleasure as always. Make sure you download the Clutch TV app. You need to get your hands on that. We will see you next week. Enjoy all the footy across the weekend.